Okay, friends, how are you doing? Happy new month. We are in the month of December, the last month of the year. Can you believe it? I just look around me and I'm wondering, where did the year go? It happened so fast. I'm shocked. I'm still in shock, like, seriously. Whew. Okay, so now, are you wondering the year has gone and I'm still unmarried? What's going on? Hmm. Just look at the scenario of a sister, and that was what I actually was. That was exactly my position. I'm a Christian woman. I love God. I love, to stand for my faith. I have my values. I don't want to flinch. I don't want to bend. I don't want to, because of any reason, abandon Jesus, the one who is technically in quote my first husband, right? The one I love. But I want to get married. I want to get married, and I'm looking around me in school, on campus, as an undergrad, as a postgraduate student studying a master's, and looking around, wondering who am I going to get married to? The guys I talk to at school, they say they're Christians, but I wonder, are they really Christians? Are they do they share the same value like me? When I talk to them, I realize that there are some differences or gap in beliefs. The kind of things I believe is not exactly what they believe, and I'm wondering, so can I ever find someone who can share the same belief like me, who will stand for the same thing that I'm standing for, who has the same love for God, who will not think that after marriage I am neglecting him in favor of my Christian faith. I'm going church, 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 church. And there's no time for him. There's no time to love him enough or to, go out and pursue the kind of things that he is more interested in. And trust me, this is the same predicament with many sisters. We are here to discuss the reason why so many Christian women, Christian ladies struggle to marry. They struggle to get that right person for them, that man of their dreams who shares the same vision with them. We always say as Christian ladies that we want someone with whom we can journey to heaven. Not someone who will drag you back, not someone who will make you feel like following Jesus is a waste of time, but who will make you feel like, oh, your own is too much. I'm very tired of this. Every time we're just doing the same thing, going to church is boring. Okay? And I'm looking for someone like that. Why do many Christian women, single women, struggle to get married? Or even women who, have lost their husband and they're they're widows, young mothers, and they're struggling to get married. That's a topic of discussion for today. If you're new here, you're very welcome to the DLBC single space. Okay, well, YouTube, we're on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you are. I don't know if you can see us live. Please, if you can see us live on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. Okay, give us a like, give us a like, a thumbs up. I don't know if they do it that way. A heart. Give us a heart, give us a like, give us a comment, say I can hear you. So just let us know that you can hear us live and direct and clearly. And please don't hesitate to chime in reasons why. If you're married already or you're in a relationship or still searching, feel free to tell us what are your struggles as a Christian woman before you get married or while you are trying to get married. What are the struggles? What are the things that you encounter in your life relating with people, with young men? Why are you still unmarried? Why are you not, excuse me, why are you not saying yes to um that man or those guys who have proposed to you? What is the hindrance that you have? And I'm very happy to come here with our fellow admins, members of this energetic community, lovely community. I have Madame Deborah, who is here representing. Happy to see you very much. I have Mr. David, who is very happy to be here as well. We were able to grab him and catch him to join us. And maybe he will tell us some things, some things from a different perspective about why Christian women are struggling to get married and what men think about very spiritual Christian women, or is there something that they're doing that is, repelling to young men, or that they need to adjust while, or improve upon so that their marriage can become easy. So I don't know who wants to go first. I have a lot of points, okay? I've written down some points and I'm very ready to jump in there. So who wants to go first? Oh, you're muted.
Why? Why do Christian ladies struggle to get
Mr.
married? I think,
Mr. David is muted. I hope you know. Yeah, you're good. Okay, go.
yeah, Christian ladies struggle to get married. I think, or from observation, and even as a single lady, what I could observe is that um, the majority of people that could be there is a slogan that is going on around the internet now, potentials or what I don't know whether
Mhm,
I should marry potential or I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about. But when guys that as a young lady, as a young Christian lady, that you are willing
mhm,
or that you be like looking at and saying, "Oh, this guy could make a good husband."
mhm.
Uh, some Many of them they don't share the same Christian values with you
Yeah.
sometimes, or it's twisted. Maybe there are some tenets of the Bible that they don't believe
Mhm,
or they don't see the same, and as a result, you don't want to get married to them because of that, because you think you are not going to be facing the same thing, or you will not be able to train up your children on one angle, as in following one precept and all the rest. And
yeah.
um, so that's one of the reasons: doctrinal beliefs,
Mhm,
standard Christian standard, and all stuff like that. Because there is a group for me. For example, I was thinking about it some days ago that there is this group of people that say they are Christians. If I was a single woman today, as in as a single woman, I will
mhm,
not marry them. This group of people that they say they are baptized in the Holy Ghost. And how did they get the baptism of the Holy Ghost? As in they say after me, or say something, just say something, start to kabash, all these kind of things. All these kind of things they used to use. And then they start saying something, they just start saying something, just anything.
mhm,
And they say they are baptized in the Holy Ghost, and then they from their emotions, and then you see them, those type of people, they are not for me. And I think that there are a lot of guys, a lot of ladies that are coming across those kind of people in a lot of congregations. These ones that learnt a language they call the speaking in tongues or the baptism in the Holy Ghost. Those group of people. So they are not some. So the number of guys that one is uh, uh, can think of getting married to now become very restricted.
mhm,
Another thing is that sometimes the people that they are good, they are kind of they are okay Christianly or something. They don't have the financial. They don't have the. They don't have the finance. They're not ready for marriage. They can't take care of a home. Nobody's going to say that this lady is always talking about. But this, if you don't have money, you cannot feed now. You cannot go to the shop and just say by faith I take that banana in the shopping mall now. No. You cannot just get into the shopping mall, fill up your caddy, as you see here in front. I don't know what they call it, the cart, rolling cart, and then you just fill it up and get to the counter and say, "I take this by faith. The just shall live by faith." No, doesn't make
mhm.
sense. You must have money. Okay, you
Yeah.
must live. Someone is going to say, "Okay, why don't she have her money? Why don't she? It's her money. This is not, it's not. Why don't she use her? Okay, if she has the money, then let her just got married. It's not the husband she's looking for. Let her
Mm.
just get married to the guy and then be paying the things, paying the bills, and be feeding him and housing him and clothing him and all stuff like that. So some of the guys that you meet that they say that they are Christians or that they share the same doctrinal beliefs, they are the guys that you're going to feed. I think you marry them, you feed them, even when you marry them, even the marriage ceremony doesn't even have the money for the marriage ceremony. You marry him, you feed him, you clothe him, you house him, So that is just already a piece of already. Oh yeah, not like these guys are not ready. That's another thing. The third thing is that um you look at the character wise. Many of them are not. They don't fit in. They don't fit in into the type of men that these ladies are. That as a young lady you are looking to get married to. Many of them are not. They don't fit in. You know? You see this, and with the advent of social media today, you can read into the minds of what people think, how they see life, what kind of husband is going to be.
Mm.
Because when you write, for example, on social media, that guy, that person claims it is it's a robot is going to bring into the home, all those kind of things. She needs a robot. She's lazy. She cannot clean the house because she's lazy. Or someone that says a lady that go through cesarean operation, it's because the lady is lazy. Kind of things. Or that is going to use his faith and say he cannot spend his money, cannot use his money to pay for the cesarean operation of his wife. She must deliver naturally like the Hebrew women. Sometimes, those kind of things, taking some Bible passages out of context. When you hear those type of things as a lady, you should be kind of afraid.
Mm.
You should be careful. You should be afraid. Who am
So
I
they have
leading this
fear.
to?
So many Christian ladies are afraid, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
don't want to
And
fall
yeah, I
into
agree
the.
with that. I agree with that part about being afraid. Why? Because now there are lots of Christian ladies who now have gotten married and would advise other young Christian ladies to be very careful. And now let's take the example of someone who um, does not have enough. And this Christian lady has maybe risen to a certain level and she has the means. And she wants to say that, okay, just so that the man or men don't think that Christian ladies are, or this woman in particular who has made a life for herself is proud or anything. And she wants to show that she's ready to do the will of God. And then she's willing to go all the way to say that I'll have some savings I can give to you so that to maintain your position as a husband. And then she gives him her money. Okay, she puts it in his account so that when he goes to her family, he looks responsible, right? So that they don't look down on him and think that okay, this guy that you brought does not have the means. He gives him money. Okay, he takes that money, he pays all the things. She's very supportive. She's like his backbone. She gives him everything just for him to get married to her and begin to display this very bad attitude. And as a lady, we know that women naturally, if we expect, I mean, just like a normal human being, you have expectation about what you want in a marriage, right? And then because this guy that you're giving everything to help him to to have to cover his face, as they say, to give him some honor, some respect, some reverence, so that your family members don't look down on him, and to give him a boost to say, okay, you know what? If I know life is tough and everything, okay, God helped me, God blessed me, and God helped me to have this. It's for you, for the taking, so that we can build a home together. Just for this guy, I'm sorry to say, I don't mean to use the same brush to brush all of them. But many guys who, for some reason, have not been able to to be financially ready. Eh? I'm not going to say everybody should do this, but I want you to, as a lady, to be very very watchful about the cues and the signs that this man gives to you. Okay, because many of these men have problems with low self-esteem. Their self-esteem is so low, and they want to project it and become aggressive. Okay, they want to cover it. I don't know if they don't know, or is their way of doing bragado and showing that, you know what, you can't ride on me because you gave me money for this marriage. It doesn't mean that you can sit on my head, and that what am I the first guy that did not have money that again will help us a big deal. And then anything that she says, he starts holding on to it. He
Well,
starts
how
reacting.
do you get all this information before marriage?
How do you get all this information before marriage?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The only way you can get to know is in very simple things, in the way he talks. When you talk about gratitude, watch the way he behaves. Someone who is grateful, you will know that they're grateful. From the any little that you give to that person, he first of all, you will see that he's making efforts. Okay, he's making significant effort to also bring up money. He's not a lazy person. He's not someone that sits around and waiting for people to bail him out. He's very hardworking. Number one. Number two, he's someone who is not entitled, who does not have this entitlement mentality. It's entitlement mentality in the sense that they believe that, yeah, so what's the big deal?
What is the
If
big
somebody
deal?
gives it to me, so what's the big
What
deal?
did you do?
What did you do? What's so
What
much
did
that
you
you've done that nobody has done?
do?
So what? Yes, you gave it to me. So what? Or maybe you do
Did I
something
force you?
and yeah, did I force you? Is it by force? Did I push you?
Yes.
And then you see him such that in because character always will show up. And in those kind of relationships, may I advise you to let that courtship linger a little. Don't rush into marriage.
Yes.
A long courtship will make you to discover some things about him that he would have hidden if you had done a very short courtship in like 6 months. Done marriage. Try to see every season of that man. Experience every season with him and see how he reacts. One day he'll blot it out. One day he'll say something like, "Hey, don't think that because you are the one giving me that you're not going to come and be pushing me around and talking to me anyhow you like. You can't talk to me anyhow because you think that you have money. You know, you just blow and you'll be shocked. Like sometimes you didn't really do anything because of course you're cutting. You're not even. Some very nice ladies fall into this kind of trap. You didn't even do anything, but because of his low self-esteem that is being displayed, or that he's even bottling up, it will come up and he will react in a way that you'll be shocked. And trust me, anything that you see during courtship is going to be amplified after marriage. Many ladies fall into this
Well,
trap of, oh, he was just offended. That's not how he is. They'll give him the first excuse. Oh, it's just because I raised my voice a little. That's not how he is. Oh no, it's because he was stressed at work. He had a lot of stress at work that day. He told me that his managers, that he was apologizing afterward, that no, he had a problem with his manager, and that's why he reacted the way he did. After marriage, wouldn't there be problems with his manager? Don't you think he will have stress after marriage? More stress. Marriage comes with its own stress, eh? Worst case scenario, when children start coming, and then he still doesn't have money or is not even ready to pick up his slacks. You do have more problems. So these are the things that you need to watch out for. Now, let's go back to the topic. Why is it that Christian women are asked to, some people will say that, okay, the pool
do you know
of
that as a
savings is
giver,
limited.
do you know if someone is a giver, if
Mhm.
a man is a giver, even if
Yes.
he has 10 euros, a giver, he will not look at this. He will be ready to give you the 10 euros.
Yeah.
You know that that guy is a giver because
Yeah.
the last money that he has on him, he's
Yes.
ready to share it with you.
Yes.
A giver.
So, yeah, sometimes people that are selfish, they hide under I don't have.
I don't have. Not
Yes.
true.
But if you want to know someone that is not selfish, even when he doesn't have, he
He
still wants to
literally
give.
has, he will give
He
it
wants
to
to
you.
give from the
I
little
can
that he has.
remember one guy like that. One guy that I got to know when I was still a single. That guy, he did not have money. But I remember that he bought me a notebook and a pen.
Mhm.
And he was willing to give his last anything,
Penny.
his last cent. His money was not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are some of the. So let's focus on enumerating what are the things that will stop a young woman from getting married. Okay. Uh, One of the things I thought about is because as I said at the beginning, there's a limited pool of young men that share the same value like her. So because they are very limited, so she wants to marry a Christian like herself, someone who believes the same thing, who shares her faith, her belief, her stand on child development, child training, the work with the Lord, and the kind of things that should happen in a home. And so because of that,
Even on
she's like
marriage, on
looking at,
fidelity.
yes,
Fidelity.
on yes,
So
faithfulness,
many
fidelity,
things.
what do you call it now? What do you call it? What do you call it?
Adultery,
Adultery,
marriage,
divorce,
divorce,
yes,
separation.
divorce, separation, remarriage, all of those things. There's a lot of things and lifestyle in general. Some people believe, in clubbing, and even though they're Christians, they don't mind going for a drink from time to time with the boys. And me as a Christian woman, I don't think I want to marry a guy that goes out from time to time with the boys to the bar to go and drink a shot or what. For me, that's not. These days there's a lot of Christianity is now trivialized. You start asking yourself a lot of questions about
Even another
what
another
is
thing also
what
is
is getting
also
hold
these
of
things.
us.
Another thing is also sexual orientation.
Yes.
Sexual orientation. As a Christian lady, you are very careful about who a guy that is very. They're always talking about that guy is always love for kid that they want to have. They're thinking about sex. Or a guy that is so much into fantasy to the extent that he wants to even try all these things, all these sexual perversions that have been introduced by the devil
Pornography.
and his
Pornography.
agents.
Yeah. Lots of guys are into
You know
pornography.
that guy is not a Christian.
Yeah.
And then
So
and these things you cannot know it until when you really have deep conversations and
yeah.
you don't let him to blindfold you and tell you don't anything, no worry, whatever you want, I'll do it with you. Then after the marriage, then problems start to come because, or maybe he has been this kind of guy that has been in the world before, he gave his life to Christ. So he wants to practice those things that my wife is my wife. If you don't want me to see outside, all those things, there's so many of them used to say. If you don't want me to see
Well, I'm
outside, if you
sorry.
don't want me to go and look for another woman, you must just
those kind of things you might not know until
No, I'm
after marriage,
sorry.
right?
Like all these things, are they not things that the married people should worry about, not single people?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
marriage.
whatever.
No, 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 because when you have entered into the marriage already, you're already
No,
married to the person.
of course you will discuss.
If you don't know his sexual orientation, you don't know
No, but
with
it
the
shouldn't be.
circumstances they're having now.
I don't think that is the reason why people
I'm not getting
are not
married.
getting married.
Yeah.
It should be one
Because
of the reasons because I remembered as a single. No, yes, it's one. I remember as a single, I met one guy like that talked to me about all these past sexual escapades.
And
And he
then
went to the extent of saying that he thinks, and this guy says that he's a Christian. I met him in deeper life. Okay. He came and he said that he wanted to get married to me. It was in deeper life. This guy said to me that he thinks that he's so good sexually that if I got married to him, he studied um he studied one course like that in legal profession. He said that if I get married to him, when he goes on journey or something,
yeah.
that me I will tiptoe on him to go and go. I will have to go and look for some other guys when
Why?
it's not. That's what he because he is like that.
Okay, then that means he would do that, right?
That's what yes now. If not, he cannot say that kind of thing. He cannot say that kind of thing now. He cannot imagine it.
what you're saying is women should run away from people that talk like that.
Okay.
that do what?
That
That
talk
talk
like
like
that.
that. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
but let me say this. As much as I like to agree with you on that,
Except if,
Wait.
except if that lady, except if that lady, except if that lady is of the same sexual, have, if they both have the same sexual experience, if they have both have the same sexual experience, that they may not, their conscience, the conscience of the lady, she may not feel bad about those type of things, because that's what she is also
my
looking for.
my
Maybe
No.
understanding is anything that is to do with sex is between husband and
And
wife.
wife. Okay.
So when they're husband and wife, they can discuss whatever they want to do with themselves.
Yeah.
that is
After marriage.
that is up to them, right? We cannot
they
come
don't,
here
if
and
they don't agree,
we cannot
if they are
come here.
already married, they don't
Obviously,
agree.
Agree
What
obviously,
will
about
happen
what?
obviously, during courtship,
on the
Truth.
various sexual orientations and what he
Yeah.
wants to experience?
Yeah, but they will talk about
it's
that
fine.
during courtship,
It's up to
right?
them. Two people that match the way they think about sex and marriage, they will match themselves,
Yeah.
right? So, but to me, that is not really what should hinder people from getting married. Just find the person that matches your type of whatever you think about in terms of sex. But I agree with you also that if a guy is always talking about sex, definitely, then probably he is not is someone you should be very worried
No,
about because
you got me wrong. It's not that he's always talking about sex. No, it's not that he's always talking about sex. It's about the experience, his experiences, what he wants and wish. And it's only when you go into very open conversations that, because in the
but it's
Christendom,
fine for him to talk about what he wants, right?
you said
It's fine if you're caught in with him. I think he should tell you what you're in for, right? So that you know whether you can run or you can
Go
stay,
on or continue. Yeah. Okay.
yes,
right? So I think it is fair for him to tell you, okay, listen, based on what I've done in the past, this
This
is
is
the
what I
kind of
want.
person that I am. Can you handle
yes,
it or not?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Right? I think I will
yes,
I respect a guy like that. I will tell you openly what he wants before you
Yeah.
get into it, so that
Before
you
you get
don't get
married, yeah.
into it and then you're like, whoa, I
Shocked.
didn't sign
Yeah.
up for
I
this,
didn't sign up for this. Yeah. Okay.
right?
That makes sense. Yeah. I agree
So
with that.
so I mean that's I think on the flip side, maybe people when they get so serious into the marriage process, they should actually start talking
Talk
about it
about that. Yeah.
because it is a big deal. Like you just said, some people can tolerate some things, some people cannot tolerate some things, right? So I think this will be something that we can talk about a bit more later. But I also want us to focus on a few things. For me, I feel like one of the reasons why women struggle, a lot of some sisters struggle to marry because they are earning way better than
The
a lot
man.
of guys
Yeah.
these days, right? And also another issue with that is when you're earning so much higher than, for example, there are so many ladies now that are going into tech, right? And I have noticed that a lot of these sisters that are in tech, they make a lot more than guys in tech because
Mm.
obviously the world now is trying to push women to get more into tech, right? So they encourage them by paying a bit more than men. And for that reason, you might find some sisters that are in for example, a local church that she's very high earning, and then the brothers there, they are not even anything close. And she's like, maybe I want a guy that is a bit above my level, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that could be a problem. And for that kind of situation, it's very tough. Like you might have to probably change your location, your church, or whatever. That's for
Mm.
sisters that are hypergamous, right? There are some sisters that are fine with marrying a guy that is earning lesser than them, but obviously some sisters would not want that, right?
Mm.
And I think that is one of the problems because apart from just the financial part of it, it also ties into like the respect, right? A lot of times, whether we like it or not, when a guy earns way better than the woman, she tend to respect him a bit more, right? So a sister will find it a bit sometimes difficult to want to see potential in, even though there are guys that they could be a very good potential for a husband that would be even way high earning than you after marriage, but
Mm.
not all sisters are willing to wait for that, right? And another thing is, I think for me is a lot of sisters are suffering from the past, especially the ones that have dated before, right? And they dated this individual thinking that this will be the last bus stop.
Mm.
But after all the emotional investment
Mm.
into this
Very tough.
relationship for years, and
Mm.
then this guy still just jilted them or left. And that could be like a real problem because they can stop trusting guys, and they might have that hurt that they never get over, right? And I think that is something that they will have to deal with.
Mm.
It's so difficult to, especially that is very, very difficult to go past that because constantly social media is reminding you of all the negative aspects of men these days. They say men are never loyal, men always cheat, men this one, men that one. So like the combination of all these things can actually make a Christian sister like just doubt like, am I really, am I really going to get married? Because I mean, are there good men out there, right? So I think those are some of the real scenarios that some sisters might be struggling with right now, right? So I have
Yeah.
more about it.
Yeah, but I also saw like some ladies, the problem they have is high expectations. They have these high expectations of what of the kind of man that they should get married to. They have this, he must have this, he must have that, he must have this, he must have that, he must be this, he must be here, he must be there. And the world is hard, right? Everybody is struggling as much as you are struggling.
I don't
So
believe that there's anything high. What is high? It's relative.
oh, things are
What's
hard.
high?
What is
What
high
is high
expectations?
expectation?
Oh, high
Yeah,
expectations
it's
is,
relative.
I mean, high expectation is not being practical, not being practical about life just the way you see it around you. For example, if you live in a country where it's obvious that some people are struggling to get a job, okay, or to get a kind of job based on their qualifications, and so people need to put food on the table. People need to, keep going on. And so people accept jobs that are a little bit below their certification or their knowledge or their education. Okay. And then the guy is working there and he's, at least earning a living, at least he can pay his rent. Maybe not a mansion. He can maybe he does not own a house, a big mansion or whatever. He drives a moderate car. He lives a moderate life. And another lady has very high expectation. She has a friend who got married to a big businessman who has a lot of money, and the marriage was all very nice, lavish, and all the Christian musicians that we see online, how they get married and they make it very big marriage, big flamboyant marriage, and he's taking the girl here, is buying her this kind of car, and they're smiling online and all of that. Or even in their local church, their friends, their classmates are getting married, and some of them married really big guys, and maybe they're in a country and they want to travel, and this lady, oh, she did not get married to all these guys until this guy came from abroad, from America, from Canada, from France, from Belgium, from, I don't know, Swiss, from Finland, any of those beautiful countries. And maybe she lives in Cameroon, she lives in Ghana, she lives in Nigeria, she lives in Kenya, she lives, I don't know, South Africa, any of Benin Republic, Togo, one of these countries. She's just there and she's waiting for a Prince Charming that will bring her, and they will get married, and they will say, oh, where are you guys going for honeymoon? We're flying to Paris, we're flying to Belgium, we're flying to New York, and then they follow the bride and the groom that night. They are flying, she already has a visa, she's going to start a new life, and she's like, what? All the brothers are coming to me, all of them, they're just from here. Ask him,
From
do you have any
Surulere.
plan to travel abroad? He has no plan.
Surulere.
What are we going to do? Where are we going to live? He lives in the slum. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. He has nothing to offer. On my birthday, he didn't even buy me a birthday cake. He doesn't do anything. Can't even do anything. He's
Of the
just
good.
there. He doesn't
Is
have any,
it
no vision, no dream, nothing to make me feel wow, lifted up, like, oh, like everybody in my office envies me. It doesn't make me feel special. The guy is so dry. He can't even write me text messages that are loving, like my friend. She shared her text messages. The guy was calling her baby, calling her all those sweet, sweet names. The guy was giving her surprise. He has never given me any surprise. And then she's waiting and waiting. And there are no two men that are no two marriages are the same. Even twins will not marry the same kind of men. So everyone will not marry the same. So some people have those high expectations, and it keeps them from
so?
getting married.
So she
That's
should.
the
Okay.
truth.
What are you saying? Are you saying that they should marry a guy that cannot send them with all that is being shown on social media today, all that they are
Yes.
seeing on Instagram, all those
Yes.
places,
Yeah.
Facebook, all those.
Yes.
A
So
Christian guy does not know that when he's in courtship, he should send some flowers. He should send some
is it
cards.
every Christian guy that thinks of sending flowers?
He should send something. As in, he
Wait,
should send
this is
something. He should
this is
send
my
good
point.
things.
No.
Uh,
This is my point. Okay, you mustn't
that
send
brother is not
flowers.
ready. He's
No,
not
no, no,
ready.
no. I disagree with that. I disagree
Okay.
with that. It's not every brother
He should be dried.
that
He
sends.
can't do
No,
anything. Nothing.
there are different ways of showing that they are romantic.
How? What
A
are
guy
you?
might
When
not send
you
you
cannot even
flowers.
call,
Listen
you
to
say
me.
good
A guy
morning.
might not send you
Good morning,
flowers.
sister. Good
I
morning,
don't.
sister.
No, listen.
Praise something.
Listen.
Or even
A,
for you
oh
to even
God.
call her good morning, sister. Praise. How was your night? Even to his sister Praise that is even calling him every night, every day to say hello, brother. Whatever. How was this? She's the one that is always calling me. It's come to an extent where the lady starts feeling, is it me that is pursuing this guy that wants to marry me?
No. That's not part of the high
What are you
expectation that
talking
I'm
about?
making. No. You are making it look
Yes.
bad.
See,
No. I disagree with where you are placing me. This is not what I'm
yes,
saying. No. You're
you
getting
buy
me
one
wrong.
card, 5 euro.
Stop. No, stop.
One
Just
card,
stop.
5 euro. You cannot buy card, 5 euro. You can't wake up in the no, see, people. See, you are in courtship. You cannot even send a you cannot think, no even no creativity.
No, wait.
You cannot even
Can,
say,
can,
let me
can I make my
package
point?
something.
No.
Nah,
That's where I'm going now.
last day,
When
say
I say
foreign.
no, wait. When I say high expectation, I mean comparing yourself with another lady who has look. A guy that has a certain means that's not the same level with your friend who maybe the guy lives abroad, is an engineer. He works on the high sea with Chevron and Exxon Mobil. Okay, the kind of gig that guy from Exxon Mobil
It's
that is
different.
an engineer on the high sea
Hey, do
making
you know that the
making a
guy?
lot of wait, let me finish my
No,
point.
no,
You
no,
are
no, 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 no.
interrupting me. Please stop, let me finish my point. No, we have to stop this thing. Stop deceiving people. This is the truth. Let's be very frank with people, because when you keep doing this, you'll be deceiving some girls. Okay, this is the truth. A guy who works, yes, a guy who
In
works
our
in,
later land.
let me land, please. You're interrupting me. A guy who
Okay,
works
okay.
in an oil company and a guy who is a lecturer or a teacher in school, they don't have the same salary. They can't give the same surprises, right? So the guy who works in ExxonMobil or who has traveled a lot, well traveled, he has seen that people give flowers, people do this, people do that. Yes, like social media, you say yes. But the gift that a guy who works in oil and gas, in tech, and a business guy that owns his own business, his own clinic, hospital, would give his wife is different from the gift that a guy who is a lecturer, who earns, I don't know how much, almost 1/10 of what that other guy is making, would give. Now, the point is, the act of giving is what the sisters should look at, not the gift that was given,
Mm-hmm.
Do you
right?
know that?
No,
Do you know
a
this,
guy
David?
can give
Do
you,
you know?
one guy
Do
can
you
give
know a
his
guy that
wife
is
a
working
car.
in Exxon Mobil? A
Yes.
guy that is working in Exxon Mobil. He can work in Exxon Mobil and not even. What are you talking about? You want to tell me that you have not seen rich guys that are stingy?
No,
You have
no, I'm
not
not
seen
saying
rich
that.
guys that don't
No,
give anything?
you're
No,
mixing it
stop.
up. I'm not talking about, I'm not
Stop.
saying that. I'm not talking, the point is not stinginess. The point is high expectation. Now you have to look at the person that proposed to you. You have to look at, who is this guy that proposed to me? What is his salary? What does he earn? So now a guy that proposed to you who earns in the third world, maybe he earns $100 or $150 in a month. Okay. If this guy can give you a gift of 1,000, I mean, $10, I think that is fair enough. But if you compare yourself, you have this high expectation here. It's just $10 you can give me. When my friend's fiance gave her gave her
A
50
Benz
$50
or a car.
or a car. You you can't even take me on any outing. You cannot even make me feel like a princess that I am. See, beautiful girl like me. You cannot even make my beauty to come out. You are deceiving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking to anybody now. I'm not talking to Madame Deborah. I'm talking to you that is watching me. You are deceiving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Cut your coat according to your size.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the guy that proposed to you, that you said yes to? Because the first place is you saying yes to him. Now, let's say you have not said yes to him, but you live in a place where, or you are relating with guys of a certain level, or even you are relating with different kind of guys. They say love is in the, I mean, beauty is in the eyes of beholder, and how God leads people is different. And you are not led as beautiful as you are. It's very interesting how very beautiful girls don't even marry very rich men. Sometimes those girls that you are looking down on, they're ugly, they're not even beautiful. She doesn't even have all that I have. Eh? What did this boy see in her? I don't know. But men are
It's,
saying some
it's,
things.
it's
Oh, yes, he said peace. So some girls, they're not beautiful, but they are giving premium peace to those handsome rich men. And you are beautiful and you're making a lot of noise with your beauty and causing premium trouble. They will not come for you. Forget your beauty, pocket it. Okay? As my husband used to say, hmm, the things that men are looking at is not what women are carrying up on their head. Man is looking, can she give me peace? Does she have everything? Every girl has something that a man will touch. At the end of the day, a man is looking for a woman that will satisfy him in the bedroom and that will cook his food. Let us say the truth the way it is. So let nobody deceive you. You stop
respect.
deceiving yourself there and carrying beauty on top of your head. And you cannot do basic things at home. If you cannot do basic things at home, and the way you talk nowadays, I mean, mature men, my husband, he will tell you some things that will shock you. Like, is that how you guys, men think like this, like for real? Is that how you guys really, really think? It will shock you. When men are very sincere, what they tell you, the kind of thing that they're looking for. You can be so beautiful and so problematic, and you will sit there on the bench for a long time. Or you even get married and your marriage will not last. Just because you carried the whole thing on your head. I talk to women and I tell them the truth. I will tell both men the truth and I will tell women the truth. The truth is the truth. It can be bitter. So watch your character, watch your attitude. There are men with ugly characters too. And that's the reason why we're on this group and we're talking. So if you're a woman, because we are talking about why men struggle to get married, today we're talking about why women struggle to get married. And I'm going to say the truth, that's the way it is. You can hate me, you can like me, I don't care. But the truth is the truth. At the end of the day, it will come back to bite whoever does not listen. High expectations. Stop. Don't have high expectation. Go by what you have around you. And if you think that you're not ready to settle with what the men that have come to you, then you have to re-strategize and think. First, I always tell people to pray. That's the number one thing. If you pray and God leads you to someone, sometimes you start the way you start. You don't know tomorrow. It's not every marriage that you're seeing shining on social media that they started the way as glamorous as you're seeing. Some of them, they have education. Me, I tell people the basic things you should look for. You're looking for kindness, you're looking for hard work, you are looking is if God is leading you to that person, and the willingness of that person to advance in life, to learn, relearn, unlearn, and overlearn. If you have such a man,
Well,
is willing to still go back to make himself better, you have someone that you will go far, very far with. That's just the truth.
can I
So,
also add?
yes.
So if you look at the life of Ruth,
Yeah.
Ruth married a very wealthy guy, right?
Boys, yes.
Yeah, boss. So, well, I think Ruth is a very good example for women that are of the opinion that I don't want to marry a guy that is just regular. Because if you look at what Ruth did to get Boaz, it was very
Position.
strategic,
Yeah.
very, very
Position
strategic.
herself. Yeah.
If if Ruth did not place herself in a situation where Boaz would
We'll
actually
see
meet
her.
her,
It won't
she will
happen.
never meet Boaz, right?
Right.
So if you think that you are just going to stay in that your
Small
environment,
corner.
not putting any effort to
Yeah.
actually show up in a place where Boaz usually goes, you might not be able to meet Boaz
Right.
because it's very few
Strategies.
people. It's very few people that actually get lucky that wherever they are, whether it's in the far corner of the world, that somebody will now come and meet them there, and
Mm-hmm.
then the Boaz will now marry them there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very rare. You don't want to take chances if you are the type of person that you want to be Ruth or Esther. You see, Esther,
Position
same thing.
yourself.
It was
Yeah.
because she was closer to the king. That's why she was
She
able
wasn't
to be
closer to
the
the
king.
king. She
No, I mean
joined the
like
pageant. She joined the people
there
that
you
went
go.
to display themselves to be seen.
Exactly. So
I used to
Yes.
so
tell somebody, like for example, in the deeper life concept, you are there, you say you don't have husband, you don't sing in the choir, you are not an usher, you don't work, you do not. You come to church, you breathe in, you breathe out. You
this
don't
is
greet anybody.
tactical
When
strategy.
they're having meeting, you don't contribute. You're just there. I don't talk. I don't like to talk. You don't
How do
talk.
they
Even
see?
on the DLPC group, you have something to say. You don't contribute. You have no contribution. You're just there mute. Or only when there is some they're accusing people and they're throwing stones, then you come to throw your own stones. You think you can find your husband like that? You think so?
So
Some ladies will say, yes, it's only brothers are only marrying choristers. Yes, now because she's in front, she's always in his face. Why will you not marry her? Then she open her mouth and sing well.
so the question is if I cannot sing, what should I do?
If you cannot sing, you can usher. If you cannot usher, you can join the group of people that go for medical team. You are a nurse. Medical teams, doctors and nurses are going to this place, that place to go and do program. They say there is program outreach for nurses and doctors. You study in your house. They're not paying us. It's free. I won't go. Sit there. That's where you will not get husband. Sit there. Don't do anything.
That's true.
But some ladies will go for the outreach and meet a fellow doctor and meet maybe somebody that is one of the sponsors of that outreach. And then she gets married. That's just the truth. Me, I will tell
Another
you,
example,
that's just the
another good
truth.
example is Rebecca, right? Rebecca was in the field,
Yeah,
right?
she was talking. I was thinking of her too.
Right?
She
When
she
when
as a lady, she went to feed her father's sheep and lamb. She took it out
Exactly.
to go and feed. So such that if you are a lady, you cannot use your as in you have the privilege of going to school. You
hmm,
say you are waiting. It's only let marriage come so that I can my husband will take me out. Be the thing yourself. You cannot read. You cannot look for scholarship or anything or to get out of the country. Get yourself to places where you will meet those people that you want to get married to.
Yeah.
You are waiting for one guy
because
to come and
because
marry you.
Or even start with
the
what
other
you have.
point too is the other point too is you see men. There are some men that they have the opinion of marriage is a partnership in terms of how can it help me to boost whatever I am
I'm
right now.
doing. Yeah.
Some men don't want to go and marry somebody that is not up to their level, where they have to like explain themselves every time to their friends or to their connections. They don't want that. They want somebody that is already, that the ladies already, our game is up.
Yeah.
So if you don't upgrade yourself, like Sister Deborah said, man, you are not going to be in the radar of those guys because they will not see you. They will not see you. They
Because social
always
media is there. Social
they
media is
always
there
look
to help.
they always look for like the type of sister that is like really, you know, up on their
Enterprising.
game.
Yeah.
So
So in your
um,
field, let me bring this down. If you're an engineer, you do engineering and you know how to do this best. Um, there's a lot of people that are that you know your social media page might be that publicity that you need. Okay.
mhm,
Put nice pictures on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn, on your, I don't know, Twitter, wherever you are. Put a good picture there and mind what you say there.
mhm,
You will be having a high expectation when you don't position yourself to get what you want and sit there and refuse to accept the ones at the level where you place yourself. So that you'll be going beyond your reach. So decide what you want. You have to work. It's a long shot. Sometimes it's a long shot. It's a long time game. You play it a long time, and then you work on yourself. You work on how you behave, how you comport yourself, how you carry yourself. Don't behave. Some ladies are they behave in a very cheap way. I'm sorry to say, they are like, and it irritates guys of a certain level. They see through you and you're so cheap. The way you talk, all you think about is, I'm looking for a man that can take care of me. And then that way, that's all you think about, you display it in the way you behave. But when you're a woman who built on yourself, naturally your self-esteem will just come up.
mhm,
Just watch all these ladies on social media who started a business. They're selling bags, they're selling shoes, they're just speaking. They just started selling something, writing books and what have you. And they build on it and they keep reading, listening to other people and building on theirs and on theirs and on theirs. You see that the way they behave is different. And when they talk to a man, they are sometimes they don't even know that the man is talking to them because of marriage. They are very ready to sell what they have, to say what they know how to do. This is what we do here. We take this from sustainable develop business. We take all the plastic and we turn them to bags, and that's what we do. And I don't mind if you know anything that we can do to get more business people oriented. I need people who are willing to know about this. I need exposure. That's all she's thinking about. And automatically, the guy is loving her the more. I'm like, she's like this girl. I like how she thinks. So many men marry women because of how she thinks. It starts from there. I just like how she thinks. I like how she behaves. I look, she's very goal oriented. She knows what she wants. She's pursuing it and all that. So I know that we focus on this place a lot, and we in the talk that we have brought up now, we've talked about self development. Focus on you developing yourself. That's one of the reasons why many ladies are not getting married, because they're not developing themselves. In the past 10 years, they've been the same way. They've not changed. They still talk the same talk. They still gossip the same gossip. They still stay in the same. They are always there to say, hey, don't mind her because she thinks she has married now. She don't care about us anymore. Okay, what have you done to up your game? Nothing. Same. No development. No read. Don't read anything. Trust me. Readers are leaders. If you don't like to read, I'm talking to you now. If you don't read, you just sit down, you stay on social media, you're scrolling through your phone, looking at skits, someone speaking pidgin English, and laughing and making some jokes, and you're laughing the whole day. What stops you from making your own skits? Thinking and making your own skits. That's all you spend your time doing. Even if you spend your time on social media listening to people who talk about, making money, how to grow, how to, self-development, how to build a trust fund, there are more productive things that you can listen to. So mind what you listen to on social media so that you, eh, eh, whatever you take in is what you will bring out. There's no
mhm.
two way about it. So mind what you are ingesting, because that's what you're going to give up to the world, and then you'll be wondering why you're not getting married, why you're still there, why you're
Yeah.
I just pray that God helps ladies nowadays. Yeah.
Also, I just would like to say that you see, women are of the advantage in the sense that you get a lot of messages from men, but the problem is you don't like all those men, right? So,
Mm,
but if you look at the men's side is different. Men don't get messages like that unless you are on the top,
yeah.
right? So, because you are opportune to be contacted by a lot of men, that means that there is something you can do to get the right type of men
Yeah.
contacted. And all of these things that we talked about, personal development, projecting yourself properly on social media, will help boost the quality of men that is actually contacting you, not the ones that you don't want, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
if you try your best to like avoid posting all this fake news, somebody sends you something, immediately you are forwarding it on your timeline without even verifying the information. Nonsense. A lot of people do that. Like,
mm.
stop doing that, right?
Yeah.
Don't use your timeline to be promoting all kind of nonsense.
Nonsense. I don't have head and tail. Yeah. I agree with
Use
you.
your timeline very productively. Make sure you are curating, meaning
Mm,
that you are selective with the type of things that go on your timeline. Somebody's tagging you on nonsense posts and it's just going automatically to your feed. You should go and edit your Facebook
and
page.
untag yourself.
Edit your Facebook page in such a way that if somebody tags you, you have to approve it for it to come up on your feed.
Yeah.
Right? Some of you don't know that. You need to learn that. Go and
Mm,
learn that. So now, the reason why I'm saying we are talking about social media and all of these things, because there are so many people that are actually getting married through social media.
yeah.
Right? I met this guy recently. He's a Brazilian guy,
Mm,
and he told me he has 4 kids. I'm like, really? You have 4 kids? You look so young. He said, yeah, you'll be surprised, bro. And I told him, okay, so how did you get married? He told me, you know what? Funny story. You'll not believe it. I was just on Instagram and on this page, and I was just scrolling the comments section. And then I just saw the comment of this lady on this video, right? I was like, interesting. Let me message this lady. And
mm,
then that's how he messaged this lady. He's Brazilian. Uh, she's from Germany, right? And he's living in the US. She's living all the way in Germany. And they started talking on DM. Imagine that. I was like, DM? You started talking on DM? They're like, yeah. We started talking on DM. 3 months down the line, I told her, come meet my parents. I was like, really? They're like, yeah. And then she flew in, she came meet my parents just to know how our culture is and get to know the church that I go to and all that. And it was like the lady came and she met his parents and then she was very happy with uh, everything she saw. And before you know it, within 8 months, these
mm.
guys got married. I was like, whoa, from Instagram. I was like, okay. So it's not only Moses Bliss that's doing it. Many people have been doing it from time, right? So that just shows that, guys, sisters, be careful what you comment, right?
Mm.
Don't join the army of, um, how would I say? I don't want to use a very
Women
strong,
that write without thinking.
but try to use your sense sometimes when you're
Yeah.
commenting, right? And you never know who is watching. Some guys they don't even post online that much. They're not that active. They just go just to be reading things.
Go through.
You never know who is going to be watching you, right?
Yeah.
So please try your possible best to be very cautious with what you're posting
Mm.
and how you comment, the words you're using, right? Social media is no longer a place where it's personal. It's no longer personal. Social media is public. So if you think it's your personal page or you think Nobody's watching. People are watching you. Your employer is watching. Your to-be husband is watching.
Mhm.
A lot of people are watching you. So please try your best to do that. Something else we didn't touch on is some sisters, they don't want to get married because obviously they feel very, very much comfortable being single. So, and I think just like we said, singleness is not, we've said this so many times, you are not compelled to always rush into marriage. You don't have to get married. Forget your friends that are getting married, right? When your time is right, when is the time for God for you to get married? You get married. Don't
Your
don't
time is right. It's not only when your time is right, but also when you are ready.
when you're ready, you get married. You don't need to rush into it, right? Enjoy your singleness. Right? The Bible says in First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7. Yet I wish that all men were like me, but each man has his own gift from God. One man this way, another that way. So, I mean, it just shows that just because you're single doesn't mean you're any less than your married friends.
Yeah.
You're not less than them. In fact, some of them, they might not tell you what they're going through in their
Yeah.
marriage. Right? They just, a lot of people just like to post fake life on online. I always tell my sister that, listen, all these people you see, you're seeing that they're looking so good online. You don't know what's behind all of those things, right?
Mhm.
So just leave them, let them get all those views and whatever. Enjoy their fame and their couple goals posts, right? So stay in your lane, trust in God, pray,
Yeah.
right? Pray very well because sometimes you don't want to just fall into the wrong family where you just be fighting battles that you didn't plan for,
Mhm.
right? Some people they get married, they are happy single, but they're married now, problems from different angles. You don't want to be that
Mhm.
person. So, dear sister, sometimes singleness might be actually better for you,
A blessing.
right? So don't feel any less. Don't feel any less of a person.
Yeah.
God has you, right? I don't know if it's the right time for us to share.
Yeah.
Uh,
Before we share, I just have a few things I'm just going to add, just quick, just notes that I made.
okay,
So some of the reason why some single sisters are still not married is because of the church. The church. I wrote a post about it some time ago. The kind of church that they belong to. So you go to a church that has many districts or other localities. Sometimes and a guy came to me came to write in the under the post in the comment section that he stayed in a church where there were no single people, but his wife also was directed to come to that church. So that's a one-off. Okay, that doesn't happen all the time. So sometimes for some people, okay, emphasis on some people, they need to move churches, localities. Like maybe you live in, I don't know, New York. Maybe if you can go to a church that is not too far from that local, like that's your area where you live. Sometimes that could be what you need. And when the church is helping nowadays with all these single programs sometimes, and church programs where people can meet each other. And thank God for the DLPC singles group, right? Here we meet a lot of singles and married people, and you can easily see that, okay, yeah, maybe I could get somebody here. You never know. You never know. So just have that openness. But if you go to a church where there are no single people and you've been there for the last 3 years, maybe it's time for you to, except God is telling you to stay there. Okay, that's where I need you to be connected to God. You need to be connected to God. You need to know how God speaks to you. Sometimes you're in a church where there is no single, and you're the only single person there, and God is telling you to still stay. Wait, my child, wait. That means that God is preparing somebody He's going to send to you there. But if you pray and you have the go ahead to start attending sometimes another district, I think you should do that, because sometimes you need to meet that person before you can even talk about marriage. So you might need to maybe visit other, other district churches, so that maybe you meet someone there and maybe join young adult church, the church for young adults. That could help as well. And when they have outings, as we have said, please don't avail yourself, so that you can mingle with other young people. And you never know, God speaks to us in diverse way. And even the fear, there's this fear of rejection. Some people, they've had this bad experience, of a marriage, a relationship that they had for so long that broke, and because of that, they're afraid of saying yes again, because they fear that that relationship might not also pan out well. So there are so many things that stops a single person, especially when it has to be, has to do with rejection or bad experiences. Maybe they know someone is very close to them who has had a bad experience with suffering in their marriage, and they're afraid to even go into marriage. But no, no two marriages are the same. Even if your brother, your sister, your friend, your best friend, your classmate, anybody is in a bad relationship or a bad marriage, and you now, take that upon yourself, and you think that, oh, maybe that is going to also happen to me. No, that will not necessarily happen to you. So have an open mind. Don't mind the fact that there's bad happening around, and believe that because everywhere or lots of bad is happening, then bad will definitely come your way, right? So don't be afraid. Have an open mind and allow for life to happen your way, so that if you don't open up your heart, then you will not even know when someone is trying to knock at the door of your heart, because your heart is shut with lock and key. So open your heart and let that opportunity come around. So broaden your community, okay? Don't stay in a very restricted community. Broaden your community, broaden your friend zones, broaden the kind of relationship that you keep. I mean, keep the Christian community. When I say broaden your community, I'm not saying go and join all the worldly communities because you want to get married, because that's a very slippery thing to do. It's very dangerous. Trust me, very dangerous. You might get beaten very hard, and there's this lady that was sharing, and she said that she got married for 4 months, and they almost used her for rituals. Man, some people would have seen that video, but there's a lot of things to learn from that video. I was shocked how that girl got into that kind of marriage, and she's not young. And thank God she didn't die, but you never know, right? Not everyone comes out of those kind of violence relationship alive. So you don't want to jump into that kind of relationship, so that you don't regret, and let God lead you. God's time is different from everyone. For some people, they might get married at 23. Some other people, your timing is at 33. Some other people, your timing is even at 40. It's not age that matters. Okay. And that's where we're going to talk another time about surrogacy, about saving your eggs and all that. I know that topic is a very touchy topic. Very, very touchy. But we're going to get a medical doctor to come and talk to us about that. The fact that you're a lady and you're still single and God is telling you to wait. Sometimes God has his own way of doing things. You might even not need to even save your egg or anything, and you would have your babies without any problems. And another lady will get married at 23 and never have a child. So okay, but there are opportunities medically that you can do to still be able to have children if that's what you are afraid of, and if you want children, because not every lady wants children also as well, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong in not wanting to have children. I'm sorry to say that. People will say that they don't agree with that, but there's nothing wrong in not wanting children. If you don't want to have children, you can adopt. Somebody might just be happy to be your child, adopted child. So it's a perspective that the older generation does not agree with, but that's the reality, and I want to put it out there. That's just the reality, and I don't want to ostracize those people who don't want to have children and make them feel like they're devils or anything. They're not. They're not. Not everyone wants to be, and a mother does not have to be biological. There's so many biological mothers who are not mothers. They give birth to children, but they're not good mothers. They throw their children, they abandon their children suffer. Are they good mothers? That's not mothering. Mothering is having a child and caring for that child. Another woman might not have the child and she can care for that child more than the mother of that child would ever do. So surrogacy is an option, Adoption is an option. Those are things that you can do. So you're struggling to get married, just make sure that you have, if you're in that situation, make sure that you're getting married to someone who shares the same kind of thoughts, who is open to adoption. Because many men, many African men are not open to adoption. I'm sorry to say, they are not open to adoption. So make sure you talk about those kind of things so that you know that you're on the same page with that person that you're trying to get married to. So there's a lot of things to share. I think that's practically my points. And mentorship and guidance also is another thing. So many ladies are not getting married, they're struggling to get married because they have conceptions that are keeping them stuck. So in that case, you need to have a mentor, you need to have a guide, a coach, someone who can help you. And as time goes on, we're trying to develop that kind of space where we can talk to some people who have some struggles that they cannot share openly, and they need someone to help them, a mentor, mental health practitioner, someone who can help. We're building up that team, and when we're ready, we'll let you know about it, and we can start taking a few one-on-one, because we cannot do all so many one-on-ones, but we'll be happy to help mentor some people and help them in preparation for marriage, so that you're not stuck and you're not ready for marriage, and you're just creating barriers that are stopping you from even getting someone to propose to you, or someone willing to get married to you, from getting out of the friend zone to married zone. Some ladies are in the friend zone with many brothers, many men. They're just friends. They're good for friends. They're not good for wives. And you can change that dynamic if you do something, so that those brothers who are just friends can go out of being friends to husbands. Husband potential husbands. Yay!
All
That's
right. So, guys, congratulations to brother Itoro and sister Ijoma
yay!
from Akwa Ibom.
Congratulations!
They just
Bravo!
they got married recently, and these guys are members of the group. Okay, so they shared their story on the group. I'm sure some of you saw it, but we
Yeah.
just want to like celebrate them, and it's so amazing to see people getting married in the group. You know,
Ah.
especially like they are from different places, I guess, right?
Mhm. Different states in
Dif-
Nigeria.
Yeah,
Different.
different states, and they met on this group, this blessed group, the
So,
Yeah.
Deeper
for those who
Life
don't know, we
Bible
have a
Church
group
Singles Group.
on Facebook. There's a group, DLBC Singles, on Facebook. So that's where they found themselves, on that DLBC Singles group. And can you put the group so that they can see? There's a lot of counterfeit groups. So just know the main group where these people
Yes.
found themselves. So we're going to put that group link so that you guys can see it. If you're on YouTube, on Instagram, or anywhere, and you don't know this group, then you can join the group if you want to.
So if
Hmm?
you know these guys, please make sure you congratulate them. And for those of you that have stories like that from this group, we would like to hear from you. Please reach out to one of the admins, and we will share your story. If you don't want people to know your name or whatever, you don't want to be popular, it's
You can
fine.
be anonymous.
You can send and mention that you want to be anonymous, and we would like to share your story. Please, we want to hear more of this because we want more marriages in this in this group, right?
There
So
was even there is even a widow that also met someone on this group. So it's
hmm,
not only just for singles. Yes, a widow.
here we
She
go.
she she came and she was talking to me that I should create a group because she feels that this group, it was more of younger people, and that I should know that there are some widows here that are seeking to get married. And I told her that I not really want. I told her then that I didn't want to talk so much about widows and all stuff like that. But for now, I've changed my mind anyway. It's and she got her husband on this group, and I told her she would come to share with us too. So there are so many other marriages that have taken place of people that met each other
Mhm.
on this blessed group.
Yeah.
And I saw the message of the brother Itoro, and they were thanking the admin, the founder admin for for creating you. So, my dear Mrs. Ifuko, you are congratulated. You are being thanked, and I thank God for allowing you to be a vessel that He could use. And I talked and I appreciated them on your behalf. That we thank God that out of your busy schedule, you allowed God to use you after our dad went to be with the Lord to start impacting this multitude and this great number of youths all over the world, all over the globe. Talk about Christian marriage. And we are just here to accompany you, to encourage you, and to say you can get married on this group. Find God's will on this group. Someone that God wants you to really get married. Someone you will live a happily after marriage. We are very practical on this group. We don't want to be hypocritical. And that's why many a time, sometimes when we talk, even though we are, some people say, is it, I remember then when we started this group, so people say they came at us with, stones. Is it a family group or something like that? I remembered it. And I had to tell them that when the first church the Israel, God chose Moses. Moses. And the elder sister was there to look out and watch out for the Egyptian mother that God was going to introduce to the biological mother of Moses. And God did so. Yes, this is the group, the authentic, deeper life Bible church singles. The others, anywhere, any other place, they are all fake. They are fake. Don't allow them to.
No, they just created theirs. So, but this was the original concept that we had about to reach out to singles.
They are
So every other one
copycats.
they created theirs. But if you're looking for the one where the story was shared from, it was from here. So this is the group that's existed since
This is the group to be
2020.
followed.
It has
This
been
is
there
the
since
group to be followed.
2020, and then we have a page as well. We also have a page.
Page, and we are
So
also on YouTube.
on YouTube,
On
we are also on
Instagram.
YouTube. Yes.
And it is not a thing for personal aggrandizement or whatever. It's taking a lot of our time. So sometimes we just don't, when we see it, we kind of like, wow, this is just. Sometimes we are kind of, sometimes we are encouraged, really. And we have to talk to ourselves back end.
Yeah.
Let's not get
We
discouraged. Let's
encourage
continue.
ourselves in the word.
We continue encouraging ourselves. And let's continue. We're getting anything from this group. We're not getting any money. Not we're spending our time, our money, and time is money. We want to mentor others. We want to impact others. And I always told you, and I'll still tell you that it was God that brought the name of the group to you, princess. It was God that brought it because he had a plan for deeper life singles worldwide. The same way God spoke to, and he reached out to his servant, he spoke to all the other servants that he has been using. He's ready to speak to anyone that makes herself available to be used. And when Moses could not, and that's what I do with you. When Moses was getting tired and he was complaining to God, God told Moses, don't worry, to talk to Aaron. Aaron was older than Moses. I'm going to talk to Aaron. Aaron will be your mouthpiece. So, and Miriam was there to lead the women. So, what we're saying is that this is of God. That's the reason why Even sometimes when we are lagging behind, he will still come and remind us. He will send people to us, talking to us, and saying, we are listening, we are watching, we are seeing what you are writing. You are touching our children. Some mothers are writing us. Some things you shared have touched our children, and we really want you to continue sharing it. And when we see those things, it encourages us, really. It really encourages us because we are this, this background family. I did not want to be asked, so we decided that let's do this. Let this be for God. Let's impact this generation, our own generation, and maybe the next generation. We're looking at what is the next. I'm looking at the next 10 years, what the impacts, the phenomenal impact we have on youth, Christian singles all over the world. We're looking at 20 years from now. I would have been more great than I am now. I'll join the group of the older generation. But yes, so brethren, do not forget, come here. Sometimes we have a monthly prayer. I was the one that talked to our dear pastor and brother to lead the prayer group. Sometimes I'm not there. I'm fucked up. I'm tired. I have so many things doing. But please do not forget to come. It's just once in a month. We pray, and our blessed brother Yemi has been very faithful. And that brother, God will bless him.
Amen.
He has been very faithful. So God will bless him tremendously. He has been a faithful servant. And God will bless him. God will bless every one of us that have in one way or the other contributed immensely.
All the moderators as well.
God
will bless them all.
All those that chip in, that we call up for one to continue, and they are just ready to just come talk, discuss, and they are not there for self-aggrandizement. They are not there for themselves. No trying to bring that. They are just to impact. God will bless. And some of us, we are married, we have children. We want our children to get married to people that love the Lord, people that we serve Him, that they will remain together as husband and wife. Jesus tarries. I tell my son and my daughter, I'd like you to get married to Christians and to remain as husband and wife until they do you part, if the Lord Jesus tarries from coming. So I'm also praying for my children. I'm praying for my children. So as I talk to you, I also pray for my children, and I pray that God will bless us. God will bless your marriage. And I want you to know that as for you that is single, it's not compulsory to be married, though. It's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. So don't rush and force yourself into a marriage that you will later start to feel hooked or choked. Almost, no, don't force yourself into that kind of thing. Don't. Because if you go into a wrong marriage, you feel like you are in a prison. You feel like you are in a prison. You feel that the life you lived, the lives of a single, why didn't I even just stay as a single and be happy than picking up some traumas because of the kind of terrible things, and then you just start praying and start doing unnecessary counseling. You have to start talking with people that you never had to talk to. Do rubbish counseling that you're not supposed to have done just because you jumped into a wrong marriage. Just went into it. You can get married even at 50. It's not compulsory that you must marry at 30 or 20, or I don't know. You can even get married at 50. If you get married at 50 and you live without 20 years or 20 years of your life, 20 happy, sweet years of life. It's
It's better
better than getting married at 23
and living miserable 43
and
years together
living
for 50
miserably
years.
for 50 years. And just sterilize or smile and say it is well, You patch up your wounds, or they hit you sometimes. They hit you sometimes, and you just clean yourself
No,
up.
some people are not physically hitting. They have
Different types,
mental
different types. What about
abuse. Okay. So
infidelity? What about
yeah.
the
So
infidelity?
yeah, but
So
we bless God for that. We're going to round up because of
yes,
time. But thank you very much for your support, for all the admin members, Mr. David, Madam Deborah, all the moderators. God bless you all for all that you're doing for this group. You're not paid, it's free of charge. You're working for this group, you are helping with the page, you're helping with one thing or the other. God sees your labor of love and He will reward you in due time. For those young couples and those people who got married, some people wrote in the comment section under that group, that under that post of this brother who got married, that they also met on this group and they got married here. So, a couple of you, many of you have found yourselves on this group. Please, the only thing I beg of you is if you come to this group, be sincere. All those in wolves in sheep's clothing that are here to come and snatch the beautiful children of God, God will not allow you to catch them. God will not
amen,
allow you to succeed, because there's a lot of
amen,
people that come here. This is a mixed multitude. I just want you to know that everyone on this group is not a Christian. That's why you need to do your due diligence and you need to pray. And you need to do what that brother did. If you read that story, I wish we had time to read it. He did the right thing. He went to his pastor because they were not from the same state. He went to his pastor reached out to her pastor, and the marriage committee took over. So you might not be a Deeper Life member, but there is always a group of people, marriage group, that helps with those people who want to get married. Make sure you are in contact with those leaders in the church who are in the marriage department, wedding department, to help with your marriage process. Don't do anything at the back, because you get hurt when you do things in secret. Secrecy is very affiliated with sin. But when you let your leaders know about it, your pastor know about it, your parents are carried along, and you're doing it the right thing in order to go, you will not be hurt, you will not be burnt, you will not feel like, oh, they deceived me, they cheated me. I thought the guy is a Christian, I met him on DLBC singles. Don't deceive yourself. Do the right thing. Any brother or sister that you say, oh, I want to meet your pastor, you say, no, I don't have any pastor. A man that does not have any leader, no shepherd, it's like a straying sheep. Be careful with those kind of brothers or sisters. Because someone that has nobody that can talk to them, then you are in trouble. Because once someone has nobody that can talk to them, that they can listen to, you are in trouble. When
can we
things happen in marriage, they don't listen to anybody. They're under no one's authority. You remember the man in the Bible who told Jesus, I'm a man under authority. So a man under authority understands authority. Okay? He understands what it means to be a man in the home, to be a leader, a good husband. But a man who has no one, is under nobody's authority, is a lone sheep. It's dangerous to even stray with those kind of sheep, because they can get attacked. Wolves can attack them on the way. They are walking there alone. You don't need that kind of man in your life. So be very careful. Listen to what that brother did. He went through his church, even though he got scolded at years. Well, maybe he did some things that he shouldn't have done, and he got scolded. But today they got married to the glory of God. He said he found peace and love here. That brother Itoro. Yeah, this is his story. Yeah, we can read it out even if you can. I can't see it so clearly, but
Hi, brother
Okay.
Itoro from Akwa Ibom and sister
Ijoma.
Ifoma also from Imo State met in the Deeper Life Bible Church singles in 2021, and we found peace and love towards each other. I, brother Itoro, went to marriage committee in Lagos, Ijaye district in Oba that same year to fill marriage inquiry form. Okay, after 2 months was called upon for further interrogation and fair hearing, after which I was given 3 months suspension before grant granting me a letter to go and see the marriage committee in the sisters regional headquarters of River State. And after due process, our courtship was approved. Okay, which lasted for 6 months from July 2023 to January 2024. And to the glory of God, our wedding was held in Uyibo Regional Group Headquarters in River State. I and my lovely wife want to say big thank you to the founder of the Deeper Life Bible Church Singles, the admin, and every member in the group. Okay, especially those that represent this group honorably. Good, thank you. Thank you all, the Deeper Life Bible Church. Yeah, thank you.
God bless you. That was a very beautiful testimony. So please, brother, sister, that all those are asking, can you get my husband here? Can I get my wife here? Yes, you now know that you can find your husband or your wife. This is not a dating group. I want to note that.
Don't send messages to say I
This
am
is
looking for
not
a girl
23
of
years
5
old.
to 20 years in
Mm-mm.
nursing.
Mm-mm. She's a nurse. I want to marry a nurse. I'm a doctor. I want to marry a
I live
doctor.
in London,
I'm looking for
or
a
I
woman
live
that's
in
living
Germany.
in America, in London, who already working as a nurse in 25. No, that's not what we're doing here. This is not a dating group. Here, you meet people who are singles. You pray to God. You have peace and love and direction that this is the person you want to get married to, and then you follow due process. There are lots of things that you do. You do medical, you go to your pastor, you go through the peace test, the patient test. That brother was patient, you see, from 2021 to 2024. I think he has
2020.
gone through the patient test and he passed the test. Okay? So you go through all those tests, and to the glory of God, your marriage can hold. God bless you. That is all we have for today. And we're going to put a stop here. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe. If you have not followed the page, follow the page. If you want to join the group, you're welcome to join the group. God bless you. And please, if you have a testimony to share with us, don't hesitate to share. We want to hear your testimony. God bless
Share
you.
the group to your contacts and all singles. Yeah.
Thank you. And see you next time. God bless
Bye.
you.
Bye,
And see
guys.
you in
Bye.
another video or next year. However, we see first. We'll be happy to see. Love you. Bye. We're
Bye.
praying for
Diesel.
you.